Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back once again with another episode of the Grind Time Grind Session podcast. Today we're going to talk to a cameraman. He's more than just a cameraman, but that's what y'all see. So he walks around with the camera. He's got a lot of ties. He's been with us for a couple years. He comes to a lot of our events. He currently just got on with Slam. His name Ryan Givens. I'm going to call him here, get him up on here, and let him talk a little bit about what he does, his background, and how he got to working with the grind session.
What's up, man?
Yo,
Nothing much, bro.
man, I got you on here on the podcast, man. Just tell everybody who you are, man, and a little bit about yourself, man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Ryan Givens. Do photography, videography with Slam Magazine, Slam Media out there at the Grind Session and everywhere in the surrounding areas in the Tennessee, Kentucky area. But yeah, I do pretty much just a mix of, like I said, photography, videography for a lot of the top select players in the country, along in part with some stuff with scouting purposes and next up recruits.
How'd you get involved in videography and photography, man?
It was just something coming out of college. Marketing was definitely a passion. Had some local basketball guys in the area. Figured nobody was really doing the videography portion of it. It's just something I enjoyed on the photography end. So once I recorded that first video, pretty much was history ever since. So it's just something I fell in love with over time and kept going.
How exactly did you find out about the grind session?
Let's see. The grind session, I found out when I was shooting with Bleacher Report hoops. So I shot with BR hoops prior to Slam.
Oh, you big
And
time,
they
big
had,
time. You big time, big time. One big company
nah,
from another. Okay.
man, hey, gotta go. But as soon as they had me go up there to see, I think it was one of the LaMelo Ball games with Spire. So soon, that was my first time going up to the grind session, and once I found out about it, it's been history ever since, man. I've been trying to go as often. Every time you guys have an event in Kentucky or anywhere close, I'm trying to be there. Talent is always immense and crazy.
Tell me how it's been the last couple of years on grind session. Some of the top talent you've seen. How it's been shooting, and some of the ties you've made, just grind session wise.
Grind session has been huge, man. A lot of the top talent. Of course, I got to start with my guy Zion, local guy. Zion's been a showstopper. I mean, he's been putting on a show, not showstopper, putting on a show for the guys for the past couple of years, as well as you guys bring in all the big names. I mean, from you got that Spire crew that had LaMelo's Rocket and Isaiah. That crew was crazy. I mean, the crowd was packed pretty much every time y'all brought him out.
Every single time.
Like, that was insane. So I think just seeing them at that point, that was the crazy talent throughout the year. But this year was just sick. I mean, you guys had Jalen, Isaiah Todd, Dacian Nix. I mean, those are just the three select few. Then you got Arthur up there of Dream City. You got Marjan. He's nice. There's so much talent. I mean, pretty much every game, even the kid from Aspire, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but the guy going to Kansas, I caught one game of
Jethro.
him. Yeah, dude is a monster. I mean, every team, every school. I mean, I don't want to get started on OSL and Pete, but
Yeah,
they
that's a
bring,
long conversation.
bro. They're sick too. So it's like everybody brings their best. West Oaks. I mean, this year West Oaks is pretty solid, man. I'm mad my boy Selk got hurt. I know he would have brought that dog out in that championship round. I figured that would have looked different, but you know. Uh, They were one of my favorites to watch. But ultimately, I would definitely like to say, I mean, Jalen and them were the showstoppers. It was really hard to beat them. I think my favorite game was that West Oaks and Prolific when they actually lost because Sultan was playing like an animal. You said it before the game too. So
In Kentucky, I seen him and I walk into the gym. He had a different look in his eye, and from that point on, it was like he knew what had to happen that day, and he did what he had to do. He knocked down some huge threes
right,
and put the team on his back, man.
right, man. I mean, it gives. And with the tournaments, I mean, you guys have them all over the country. So, I mean, kids have equal opportunity to shine, man. I know, what's the kid off of Word of God, light skin?
Po Boy King,
Yes, he's shooting, man.
shooter,
Crazy
shooter,
shooter. I
shoot.
never heard of him. Right. Never heard of some of these kids up in Minnesota. Big light skin boy, man. He gets it done. I can't remember his name. He's the guard, but
Lukai
you got
Patterson.
Lil Pop out. Yeah, yeah. And then you got Frankie over there.
You might luck up with Lukai. Lukai could end up at Vandy. That's pretty strong.
Hey, I know everybody's in there recruiting, man. I'm
Yeah.
constantly seeing my guys from Vandy in there. So, I mean, you guys, I think, saw Bruce Pearl, seen him in there a couple times.
hmm
So, you guys keep all the big times in there for sure.
Tell me, who's been your favorite to shoot on the grind session? It's okay to say me because I got a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're always good content, man.
I try to be photogenic.
Right. I like my favorite guys. I hate to be the popularity, but I mean, you got Zaytod, between Zaytod, Jalen, and Posh. Posh specifically, man, that 60-point game was crazy.
Really crazy.
Some of the things he does, like at his size, is sick.
You were there that night for the 360 layup, aren't you?
Yeah, I like Dylan too. Dylan's crazy too.
Dylan out of
Um,
Wusu.
yeah, St. John's got a
That's a 1-2
squad.
tandem. It's gonna hurt some people.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, Jalen, man, you have to keep the camera on him at all times. J. Todd, same thing. You never know what you're gonna get out of a 6'9" small forward that's dunking on anybody at will. So,
Facts.
um, yeah, man, it's a lot of people highlight worthy, but I think Jalen takes the cake.
Hey, I can probably attest to that. I'm sure that there's some dope shots in your footage from Jalen and Zay and a whole lot of people from this year.
Right. I do like Dacian Ruffin though.
Oh yeah,
Like he's nasty. Him and Zion. That game
they
was
went at
crazy.
it. Yeah, I'm actually gonna get Zion on here for the next episode. So,
Okay, you gotta holler at my boy Kennedy too.
oh yeah, I
He ain't
need to
really
try to
grind
get to
session,
him.
but yeah, he be on the session. Kennedy Chandler is nice.
Yeah, I know you can help me get to him, so we get that worked out. He's definitely on here.
For sure.
But I was talking about some ties earlier. Some of the grind session ties you've made. You've got a lot of ties. As far as other people and professional athletes and other things. So tell me a little bit about some of those ties.
Yeah, like we have down here in Nashville, plenty guys come through. We have some local guys in the league, NBA. So you got Robert Covington, Darius Garland. A lot of those guys. Nashville is starting to breed, I guess, a lot of professional guys in different markets. I mean, you obviously got Mookie Betts in the baseball market.
Well, that name
Football is
sounds familiar.
here. Man, I thought you'd know the name, but after that Jordan doc, everybody should know who he is
Oh
now.
yeah, oh yeah. If you don't
But
know, now you know.
right. If you don't know, you just need to quit watching sports.
Oh, big facts, big facts. Big things coming from him too. So stay tuned.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, with DG, I mean, we just got Scott Clark in over here at BA. You got
That's a
NFL.
big pickup. Big pickup.
Yes. I mean, Nashville's heating up. You got Brandon Miller over there, McCain Ridge, Scott Clark. That 2023 class is heavy with Isaiah West, Jalen Jones, Wilton Alexander. Um, I mean, the basketball is starting to level out here in Tennessee. Then you got Vandy, which is in the city, so they're not the best when it comes to SEC play yet, but
It's still exciting to I
yeah,
love going
yeah.
to Vandy games. It's not the biggest gym, but it's like, it's compact, it's loud.
Oh, for
They,
sure.
they
Yeah,
fill
and
it
then when
out.
they're playing, they play all SEC ball, so they bring in the Kentuckys and
Big
you know,
facts. Big facts.
so you'll see who you want to see.
Oh, yeah. But, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Anything you want to say to the viewers, man, to check you out, your Instagram, your Twitter, all that?
I mean, my Instagram, Ryan_Slam. I pretty much post everything from there. Definitely got to fall into the grind session if you already haven't. Um, I mean, you're definitely missing out on Premier Basketball before they turn pro. Obviously, the only league to send. I mean, the only people to send three of them straight out, right?
Straight out.
Yeah. So
But we'll save that discussion for later,
I think it goes without saying much,
Oh, yeah.
man. So nah, man, that's it for me.
Appreciate you, man. Always love this way.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yes, sir, brother.
Yes, sir. Peace.
See you next episode.